anyway, once he finally gets home, he sees Pa, he sees William. They give him what amounts to the most affection he's ever had in his life, a squeeze on the shoulder. And then he decides, oh yeah, I have a girlfriend. Probably should check up on what's going on with her. So a couple days into being home, he decides that he's going to ring Chels up. He didn't call her first thing. He calls her a couple days in. Now, I would be offended, but whatever. I would want to be the first call. If I'm 100% honest, I would want the first call. I mean, after he saw his parents, okay, fine. But you're going to wait 2 days to call me? I guess I really am not high on your priority list.
Hey, who's your friend? Hey!
Hey, Joey.
Aaron! You're still here.
He runs off to Botswana, meets up with the gang, that being Tej, Mike, Addie, and Chels, when he can remember. He says that they had a decent time. They, drank, of course. What else are they going to do? Not enjoy Africa, but where's the alcohol? Then he says one night everyone's gone to bed, and he's sitting with Tej, his surrogate mom, never mom. He's sitting with mom, and, Tej says to him, how was it in Afghanistan? Okay. Well, he is really appreciative of her interest in it, because to this point, no one's even asked.
Yeah, well, I guess, and also thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay.
But people don't ask you how it was in case you don't want to talk about it. Like, if you want to talk about it, you'll bring it up. I remember my grandmother telling me, who had several brothers who fought in World War II, that you never ask a soldier about his experiences. That to ask him what he experienced is the greatest breach of his privacy. Because if he wants you to know, he'll tell you. And to ask him is to put him in the most vulnerable position he could be in. Because you don't know what's living behind his eyes. What's going on in his mind. You don't know. Now, being an open person so that they could talk to you is one thing, but to probe and to ask and to potentially broach subject matter that you don't need to be insensitive about, but you don't even know how to ask about it, you just don't do it. It's just not done. And anyway, so in that vein, people were just not asking him to be respectful for what he had seen and experienced. Well, no one asked. Willie didn't ask. Pa didn't ask. Chels didn't ask. She might have if you called her the first day you came back, but he says Tej asked, and so they have this lovely little mom-son conversation. And and that sets them off to talking about other things also. She wants to know what's going on with he and Chelsea. Good question, we all want to know. And he responds in this way. He says, she likes me, I said. Loves me, I guess. You guess. But she doesn't like the baggage that comes with me. Doesn't like everything that comes with being royal, the press and so forth. And none of that's ever gone away. So what hope is there? And Tisha's like, okay, but could you see yourself marrying her? I mean, like, pretend all that's not a thing. Could you see yourself marrying her? And this is his response. And you guys, okay, I'm not against his reasoning for why he says that it's not probably a marriage material situation, but I really don't like the way he couches it. Like, he's trying to let himself off the hook here, and it's like, oh, stop blaming this on everybody else. Listen to this. He says, so Tisha's like, so could you marry her? Do you see it? Mm-hmm. And he goes, I tried to explain. I cherished Chel's carefree and authentic spirit. She never worried about what other people thought. She wore short skirts and high boots and danced with abandon and drank as much tequila as I did, and I cherished all those things about her. But I couldn't help worrying about how Granny might feel about them, or the British public. And the last thing I wanted was for Charles to change to accommodate them. Oh, stop it. Do you want the mother of your children dancing in short skirts, guzzling tequila at all hours of the night? Stop blaming it on Granny. My whole point is this. Okay, so if you want to party around with this girl, okay, fine. But don't couch it in this language like, I mean, I really like her, but what would Granny think? What do you think? What do you want? You don't want Chels as a wife. But don't blame Granny for that. Come on. He goes on to say he really wanted to be a husband and a wife, he really wanted to be a husband and a father. But it takes a certain kind of person to withstand the scrutiny that he was under, and he just didn't think Chels could handle it, so guess that's not gonna work out. So the next chapter is him talking about their breakup, or just sort of like how it fizzled out. She was just really not into being tracked all the time by the press. Like, that was not a feather in her cap. And, you know, they tracked her all the time when she was at school in England, and then when she went back to Cape Town, the press was always showing up, and they discovered that there was a tracking device on the bottom side of her car. Marco helped her to figure that one out. And apparently this had happened to quite a few people in Harry's life. So Chels is just like, look, here's the thing. You're a nice guy. But this parade, this circus that follows you, I mean, I'm not looking for a job in the circus, so I'm going to go my separate ways. So she leaves. Then he meets another girl called Flack. Well, she's funny, she's sweet, she's cool. He met her at a restaurant with his mates. Apparently she was a TV presenter, but he didn't know about that because he didn't watch any TV. And he says that she wasn't taken aback that I didn't recognize her, which I liked. You know, she didn't have a big ego. Well, thank God for that, because there's not enough room for all the ego that'll be in this relationship with yours. Her real name is Caroline Flack. But again, it fizzles out because who should ruin it again? The damn press. The press has come back to haunt him and ruin things for him. So Chelsea is gone, and now Flack is gone, and they're just wrecking everything. It's always the press, but I'm like, could it have been you? I feel like if I met a guy who was just the most incredible man I'd ever met, if I was one of these girls, and I met this prince, and he was just like incredibly strong and masculine and kind and all the things that a girl would ever want, I think I could put up with the press. I mean, I really don't feel like that would be a deal breaker for me. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I've never been hounded, but it just doesn't seem like that is such an easy out for a girl to be like, I really like you, but like the press following you is like totally unacceptable. Like, I can't have that in my life. Like, I love you and you're awesome, but the press is a deal breaker for me. No, I don't think many girls would actually say that. If the guy was like a winner, like a 10-10-10, you know, come on.